Academic outcomes from autistic individuals are varied. Some of them progress really well in academics to the point of being able to go to a college and earn a degree. With some others, there is a plateauing in the learning curve that happens after a certain period of time. With a few others, academic progress does not take off beyond the initial lessons of letters and numbers. Some of the challenges that children with autism might face are sensory processing disorder, which makes it really hard for them to focus even for a short time. Intellectual disability as a comorbid condition. Inability to focus on anything outside their narrow range of interest. For example, if a child has an interest in aeroplanes and trains, it's going to be very difficult for us to make him focus on anything else other than aeroplanes and trains. Yet another point would be difficulty in reading a text and comprehending its meaning. Due to these difficulties, academic learning might not take off well even in the early years of intervention. A few accommodations that can help the children are, first and foremost would be trying to identify your child's learning style. Some of them might be visual learners. Some of them might be auditory learners, that is, they respond very well to auditory inputs. Some of them respond well or learn better when there is a lot of movements incorporated into their lesson. The key is trying to identify what kind of learner your child is and then tailor the instructional material accordingly. Yet another important point is support written texts and spoken words with visuals, because as we discussed in point number 1, many of them can be visual learners. Remember to generalize at every step. Generalization is very important. For example, if the child has learned the shape circle from a textbook, to know that a cookie is also circle in shape or a lollipop is also circular in shape, this might not come naturally to a child with autism. We have to consciously take efforts and interfere at each step and help the child generalize the concept. Yet another point is addressing their sensory needs within the learning environment. For example, creating sensory retreat spaces like with dim lights, neutral color palettes, probably having a bean bag, using a noise reduction headphones. All these might help the child focus better in the lesson in hand. And last but not the least, focus on learning readiness skills right from the early years of intervention. By learning readiness skills, I mean focus, joint attention, sitting tolerance, and compliance. A little later in the video, we'll look at a few activities to improve your child's focus and attention. Now, what can be done if the child, even with all these accommodations that we have made to address the child's special education needs, does not show a considerable improvement in academics? We'll discuss a few points in this topic. Number 1 would be gather your child's learnings from a conventional setup, conventional academic lessons, and utilize them to teach them topics in functional academics. For example, if the child has learned or has a knowledge of basic numbers, we can make that skill to let them learn telling time, using money, or managing simple accounts, or measuring things in the kitchen. Yet another point that we need to keep in mind is if the child has an interest, which is a very focused interest, we can try to develop that. We can help the child gather a lot of information on that particular topic so that he excels in it. It can be any topic like geography or art or poetry or geometry, anything. Yet another point is, look for typical autistic traits like repetitive behavior, attention to detail, photographic memory, and so on, and use them to teach new skills to the child. Again, it can be anything from art to computing and so on. Now, coming back to learning readiness skills, one common concern, mostly from parents with newly diagnosed children with autism, is that it's very difficult to get the child's attention. Usually we hear them say, how much ever we try, he's not sitting even for a minute. He goes back into his own world. Solution lies in the problem itself. Rather than expecting the child or waiting for the child to come out of his world and connect with you, or even forcing the child to come out from his own world, can we try getting into his little world and see what excites him there, what interests him there, what drives him there? Strongly connected to his interests. And when we decide to join in his interests, we are trying to understand his emotions. We'll discuss a few activities to help improve your child's attention. We'll use a couple of things. I've taken a Play-Doh and water. These are two things that most children would enjoy playing with, and we'll discuss a few activities that we can do with each of these. So let's start with Play-Doh. You might know that we can get all different kinds of Play-Doh from the market, but if in case that is not available, we can even try making Play-Doh at home with probably maida and atta. We can even add food color to it. We can even adjust the consistency depending on how your child would like it. If your child likes it a little messy, we can add more water to it and make all those differences according to your child's interests. Now coming to a few fun activities that we can do. First, we can make a big ball of Play-Doh, hide a few tiny little toys inside, whatever that your child likes, and let your child explore the Play-Doh, play with it for a while, and probably rip it open and take out the hidden toys inside. Another thing that we can try is take a ball of Play-Doh and flatten it and place small twigs or toothpicks or pieces of plastic straw onto it. That will also keep the child engaged and focused and attentive for a short while. Yet another fun activity that can be tried is pinch out small pieces of Play-Doh, place it on your child's, press it on your child's fingers, and let him share the excitement along with you. They might like it a lot. Yet another activity that we can try is roll out the Play-Doh into a long piece, pretend it to be a snake or a long wire, then coil it, probably flatten it up, cut it up with a plastic knife, sing a birthday song with your child. The options are endless. Now, that is all with Play-Doh. Now coming to water play, again we can think of a lot of options. Fill colored water in a spray bottle and spray it on white chart paper that is on the table, or you can even stick that on the wall. Yet another option that we can try is, in a big container full of water, you can add drops of food color, little by little. Again, at every point, remember to enjoy the activity with the child so that he also shares the excitement. And once you've made a big bowl of colored water, you can pour it out into different shaped, transparent containers. It need not be of the same shape. It can be a long-necked bottle or a wide-mouthed bottle. So that is one interesting activity that we can do. We can even add glitter into it and make it more exciting. Yet another activity that we can plan out is take a flat container, fill it up with water and put tiny little toys into it and keep it in the freezer. We can half freeze it, take it out, and then using a spoon, allow the child to break the surface and take out the little toys inside. That is another exciting activity that the child might enjoy. Then another one, using a big sponge or a cloth to absorb water and walk across a distance and squeeze out the water into another container. Now, a few points to remember while you're playing with your child. While the activities that we have taken up look like very simple play activities, we know that they are carefully contrived play situations. So, try to organize everything well in advance, keep everything handy so that we do not have to leave the child and go around fetching for things. Keep everything at a hand's distance and keep everything ready. Another point that we need to remember is to track your child's progress at every level. If your child is sitting through for an activity for 1 minute this day or today, we might see a slight improvement in the attention span the next day. Unless we track it, we'll not be able to record the progress. The next day might be a 15 seconds more or a 30 seconds more. So always try to track the progress. Another point that we need to remember is we need to try to incorporate at least one word in any of these activities. For example, we can use words like give or take, roll, squeeze, open. We can use any of these words during the play repeatedly so that it stays in your child's mind. But let's not force the child to speak any of these. Another point that we need to remember is praise your child, and that too in a way that the child understands. And make your child know that he is loved and that he has people around who understands him.